Hey everybody, it's Steven Totillo, and I'm here to show you The Room 3. It just came out on iOS. It's going to be forthcoming to Android. It's from Fireproof Games, costs $5. I'm playing it on my iPad and capturing some of the first, I think it's one of the first, if not the first full chapter of the game. There's like some prologue stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you like what you're seeing as I start playing it, stop watching the video as soon as possible, because this is a puzzle game and it's best experienced without you knowing the solutions to puzzles. But for those of you who don't know the series or want to see how it looks and how the extent to which it might be different from the previous ones, I want to show you a little bit and maybe explain a couple things. So it's very similar to the previous games. It's all based on the idea of there being locked boxes, locked pieces of furniture and whatnot that you're going to be poking around and trying to, in some way, open up. There is some sense of story to it, and there's a little bit of dialogue and messages like this. So this is from a guy called The Craftsman, who I think is our tormentor, nemesis, whatever. So I'll let you read that message right here. Okay, so some not super detailed, but something going on here with something called the pyre. And I'm pinching and I'm expanding my fingers in order to zoom in and zoom out on things, and that's what you do in this game. They basically give you fixed vantage points that you can look around from, and then you can double tap on areas of interest, which usually then allow you to look around a little bit from that camera perspective. So we got what looks like a map here. We can tap into the center, but if I tap around on that, I can't really do anything with it. I know the solution to this, so not so much drama for me here, but interesting for you perhaps. And we can also look around. This had been vexing me for a while, this thing on the right, but I did figure this one out. Should I give it away? I'll give you a hint. So it says the name of this tower will reveal the way. So what do we think the name is? Pyre, right? Okay. Well, check out what happens when you do things like this. I'm tapping on the knobs, and tap on those knobs, and hey, that's how you make a T. So you change where these things are pointing. You can figure out the rest on your own. I'm tapping on the lamp, nothing's happening. So that's all very similar to how the game worked previously. There's a hint system. You see the question mark in the top left. I recommend not taking the hints. This is a fun game to play by yourself, but also you can easily play with somebody else sitting with you, trying to help you solve the puzzles. I played the first two games with my nephew a couple of Christmases ago. It was sort of a nice little tradition for me and him. Unfortunately, this game didn't come out around Christmas, so sorry, nephew of mine. There's a lens, which if you look through it, will sometimes reveal kind of hidden messages, black light kind of scrawls and sketchings and hints to puzzles. In this case, nothing really going on there either in the room yet, but there is an indication earlier in the game that your lens is getting upgraded, so you can go zoom inside things, and there's this change of scale that's given to you, and I'll show you that in a second. But I just want to show you a couple of very starter things for this level, for those who don't know the series. So what you normally are doing is, it's all obviously touch-based because it's an iOS game, but you're looking at different kinds of latches and knobs and levers and hoping that you can move them. In this case, I can drag this open, but I have to hold it with my right thumb, and then I'm opening the other part with my left index finger. Then I can pull the drawer open. I can pull out an object. Should all be very familiar to people who've played the game before. You can look around at these objects, rotate them a bit. Sometimes they are interactive themselves. And I know what to do here. You know what I'm going to do, right? If you like Game of Thrones, you're going to love what happens next. Spin this around. Cue the Game of Thrones opening theme. We are flying from the... I'm forgetting all the names of the Game of Thrones locations now. Winterfell. King's Landing. The part where the horse people live. You know what I'm saying. All right, so then you can do various things here. Now, I haven't been able to figure out all of it. I don't know yet what goes in there. I'm guessing that I'll open up some other thing in this room, and there'll be a thing to put in there and what have you. I did figure out the house over here. This wheel. Turn this, and this will show you one of the slight new gameplay changes in the game. So this sparkly stuff is an indication that you can, with the new super lens, go inside. That's cool. And there's this puzzle here involving a snake. I know the solution to this one as well. It's not as fun if I know the solutions. But I wanted to back up and show you guys a couple things from the beginning of the level. So yeah, you don't get to experience my sense of wonder as I was solving these myself. But you do get to see some cool stuff. And now I'm going to stop pretty soon. I don't know what to do with the magnets yet. So I've figured that, because there's that plus on the bottom, that they're going to go into something that has a plus-shaped groove of some sort. But I haven't figured that out. I have looked around in this room to see if there's other stuff I can do. I've tapped on I'm doing it right now as well, tapped on the back door because there's that whole mechanism, but I don't think there's anything else. Usually it's the indication is wherever light is shining, there's something you can interact with. So for example, these islands in the foreground here, I double tap on them, nothing happens. Whereas if I double tap on this plateau here, and I know how to solve this, but I'm not gonna, well, I technically can't give it away right now because I don't have the thing that needs to go in there. But that's a cool puzzle. One other thing to show you, though, is, because this is neat, this thing on the floor here, another hint for that pyre being a keyword, and this inventory object. So if you played the room one was like just locked boxes and really ornate and complicated in terms of opening them up. I don't think there was anything beyond the boxes. I could be misremembering. It was a few years ago. Room 2 got more interactive or more complicated. There was things where you were like setting up things in a cave and it was causing you to be able to shoot what was like a big bow and arrow crossbow contraption, and it was a little bit bigger action. The games, though, don't really have like characters running around through them and a lot of action. This game seems like it might have a shade more of that. The very opening level of the game, it's like a tutorial thing. You're in a train car and you can see the countryside whooshing by, so that's some hint that there's going to be, well, it's not a hint, they're showing you. They're putting more movement and more animation into the game. There's another scene also very early in the game where you look through a doorway and you see a guy walking through, and I don't remember anything like that from the previous games. This has been in the previous games where you can manipulate the objects in your inventory. This was super cool. I actually recorded a video of this. I've done a previous version of this video and it didn't come out so great, so I'm doing it again. And I didn't know the solution to this, and I was so giddy when I figured this out. But like, right, there's this hint when you spin it, this centrifugal force causes these gems to move, which is just such a great visual cue. And this just looks so cool. And there's another one of those magnets in there, and it also has the plus. So the magnets got to go somewhere. I don't know where they go. And I'm not going to go much further. I don't actually know that many more solutions to puzzles in this, the first major room of the room 3, but I'm excited to go solve them. These games are not ultra long, but they're substantial enough that they'll make for a nice afternoon, or you could probably even stretch it out to a couple, 2 or 3 sessions. Super worth it. It may sound, from what I just said, like the games are really short, but they are so satisfying, so good, so clever, so fun. It's, you know, a nice approach to puzzle gaming. $5, I don't think is a lot for them to be asking for something as slick as this and as good as this. So give it a shot. And again, I recommend you play it with somebody else with you. It's a good, like, you know, loved one game, or play with your dog, play with your cat. That might work too. But have fun. Room 3 so far, so really good. 2 years in the making, and I'm loving it so far. All right, see ya.